and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursdays, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men because, frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited to bring to you this brother today. He is an advocate, he's a musician, he's a leader, he's that and so much more, and I'm looking forward to chatting with him today, and I'm looking forward to introducing you to him. So please welcome Mr. Jack Drummond. Hi, Jack.
Hey, Val. Thank you so much for having me. This is great. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little excited. So don't mind me if I get a little jittery or stutter a little bit, you know.
None of that is needed. I'm glad you're excited, but no need for nerves or jitters at all. I'm just so happy and honored that you are here with us and to participate in this project. And as you know, we are creating a repository of 6 questions, and we're on our way to 100 answers by 100 different Black men, with the goal of being able to engage with a young king who may or may not have a positive Black male role model or role models in his life. He can come to this repository, see these same 6 questions and a myriad of answers, and hopefully find guidance. And for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, for us to be able to take a peek into this amazing group of people that is not a monolithic group of people, that despite how Black men are portrayed in the media, was a very narrow microcosm of the breadth and depth. And certainly 100 answers is not the full breadth and depth, but it gets us closer. And so I'm super excited that you are a part of this conversation. And I'm going to get started with question 1, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
Manhood. So being the contrarian that I am, I'm already thinking of what it's not, right? I think quite often when we think about manhood or somebody like me, I think about the distinction between manhood and malehood, right? Malehood, right? Quite often I think is what becomes the focus, and just for the fact that you were born a specific sex, sort of precludes you to, this growth process, and you become a man instantly. And I don't think that that's how it works. So what it is to me is really this acknowledgement of, physical things, mental things, and spiritual things that we become engaged in. And that's simply what it is. It's inclusive of a journey for folks to get to know themselves, or self-knowledge becomes one of the most important keys to understanding manhood to me. And people who act on it, not just, thinking about it or understanding it, but people who embody it and act on it. Manhood to me, is this acknowledgement of sort of being prepared for life situations and what life brings to you and throws at you, and handling it with responsibility, with this sense of accountability, being humble, and not all the time. I believe that balance is power. So excess anything. So I don't think you should always be humble. You got to floss a little bit, right? So, but that's a part of manhood. But humble is the overarching sort of thing that I was going for there. Also, perhaps being humane and understanding that manhood is also the embodiment of what might be considered the direct link or connection to womanhood as well. So all of these things that I mentioned, in some way, shape, form, or fashion can be connected to that. So really being humane and understanding, the softness that we are as well, I think is a big part of manhood. Also, having sort of a belief system. I said mental, physical, and spiritual, but believing in something, yourself, other energies, the one, God, etc. And then also having a understanding of what it means to have a healthy body, cleanliness has to do with manhood to me. Like be clean, have good hygiene, because that's a part of, just sort of appreciating who we are. When we were boys, you know, life was different, so having that love and appreciation for yourself becomes an active part of manhood. And I mean, I could go on and on. Ultimately, I think that manhood is understanding loving yourself and understanding loving others. So that's what manhood would be to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much. So Jack, who and or what is important to you?
Everything's important. So my connection with love is important, with the one, with the creator, with the energy, with Allah, with Buddha, with God. It's very important to me. And I always remind myself that I am, I have a body. I am a spirit looking to reconnect and understand in ways that, I haven't understood before. I'm on a journey, and that's important to me, to be connected with the one. Also, what is important to me? So understanding my connection to those shoulders that I stand on, those folks, who have, lived lives that were praiseworthy and commendable and inspiring, and and did the thing so that we could do our thing, and what's also important are the children of the future. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound like Whitney Houston, but those I'm thinking about my nieces and nephews, and I'm in love with all of them. But those folks are important, and I think sometimes I find myself getting stuck in a sense in thinking about the past or thinking about the future when I don't necessarily acknowledge, like right now, like being in the moment, and that the moment is important to me, like right now, like right now, and right now, and right now, so this conversation is important to me. And I'm appreciative of being engaged in this conversation in this moment. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So Jack, how do you want us to see you?
To see me, like visually, or like thinking, or just however I receive that. So I would say, and I'm being judicious with my words. I'm usually a quick talker, but I would say that I want folks to see me as a reflection of themselves, a reflection of one of my favorite mentors is Baba Yumi Odom, and his name is You Me, right? So it sounds like you, me, right? So I told him I was gonna call myself Me You, you know what I mean? So we could have that reciprocal thing going on. But the idea is that look at me as like see me as a canvas in a sense. I believe that in life, from my own experience, I have the power, and I don't necessarily acknowledge it, but I have the power to really kind of create certain experiences in life and react to them the way that I want to react. So what I mean is that, if I'm driving down the street and I see someone with a sign that says, help me or feed me or something like that, right? So my default reaction might be to, not make eye contact or ignore the person or do whatever. Or I could make eye contact and help however I can, whether it's monetary, if I have food, etc. Right. But the idea here is that, and the reason why I say that is because I think that we're all artists in a sense, where we kind of paint how we experience life. I can choose to be upset if I want. I could choose to be loving, and giving if I want. So I don't know if I veered off to another question or whatever, but how do I want folks to see me as a canvas, see me as something that you can see your own self in, your own reflection in, the ways that you treat yourself, treat me, etc. Yeah, I think that that's how I want you to see me. See me as you, because I am ultimately, but that's another video.
Yes, yes, yes. That's really beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So Jack, what is your epic dream?
These are good questions. I feel like I'm on like an interview that I'm not really prepared for, but okay. So my epic dream is collective consciousness of all breathers, of all breathers, no matter what we call ourselves, black, white, whatever, color, full folks, people, my epic dream is really to have a collective consciousness of who and whose we are and growth, right? And I think that one of the more immediate ways that I'd like to, that I dream is to see folks who I can relate to, because I consider myself melanin enriched, liberated, and folks who I can relate to free, on so many levels. Yeah. I would say that, and you got me thinking about manhood again, even with this question, but whatever. But yeah, so that's what I would say my epic dream would be, liberation for folks who look like me, and then also liberation for everybody, collective consciousness. Let's breathe, let's grow, let's love, and don't always have to be kumbaya. I'm not trying to live in a fantasy world, because I said earlier that balance is power. And yeah, I don't know. Collective consciousness. That's what I would say.
That's awesome. That's a great thing to say.
I think you're gonna say that for every question.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reality, these are answers, and that's the beauty. Again, is not meant to be prescriptive. It's meant to be what comes out of you.
Sure.
And a friend who says, I feel like if I like it, there's at least 1 million people across the world who likes the same thing. Absolutely. Right. And the question is, how can we find our tribe? And so our goal is for kings, young kings, queens, whoever, to come in and find their tribes in these answers. Right. And so not everything is going to resonate with everyone, but everything that is said is absolutely beautifully said and is a gem. So thank you for that gem.
Well, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Jack, you've actually been telling us this implicitly over the last 4 questions. So I'm going to ask you in question 5 explicitly. Jack Drummond, who are you?
Who am I? Jack. I am Jack Drummond Jr. Jack is a derivation of John, which means gift from God, or God is gracious. And I am a gracious gift from God, who is I'd like to consider myself a curious and humble light being, who is here to do what it do. You know what I mean? Who is learning to be fully present in life. I am known to wear many hats, coach, director, fledgling entrepreneur, advocate, advisor, mentor, mentee, student, teacher, so many titles. However, I am a curious light being who is interested in making the best of my journey here.
What a wonderful answer. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's great. So here we are already at question 6, which is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
I don't think you missed anything. I think that this conversation, this moment was supposed to happen, these moments. It was intentional. I do think that what was missed, what I often miss myself is that these are the good old days, like the ones we're having, like, you know, all the things included, society, you know, and all these sorts of things that we have on our minds and in our faces at the forefront of our lives sometimes. These are the good old days, you know, and I think that it's important to remember that, to represent that, and to make the best of, you know, the good old days. And in terms of what else was missed, I don't really think things were missed. I think that in defining, and I'm going to go back and define for myself, you know, a more clear definition of manhood, opposed to linking it to all the things that I mentioned. But I think trustworthiness has to do the big part of what manhood is. And that's a difficult journey, believe it or not. And I'm not saying that because, you know, I'm a liar or anything like that. I'm saying that because sometimes, you know, sort of growing up and being involved in a system of systems, you know, we are taught to wear the mask in many regards. We are taught to please others, or to, you know, not necessarily, you know, sort of love ourselves and love the honesty and authenticity that we bring to this journey, you know, which many people call life. And, you know, it gets confusing, you know, because of the mistrust that has happened to folks like myself, folks like the people that I'm connected with, et cetera, and distrust and all of that. So I think what's missing or what was missed was sort of adding trustworthiness into my definition of manhood. And this was dope. Like, you know, I thank you so much. It always takes a Black woman to do something dope like this. Like, I feel like, you know, I mean, clearly, you know, y'all know who y'all are. You know what power you know. This is important. What was missed was my lack of acknowledging how important this is to me, and how thankful and grateful I am to you for even, you know, having me on, you know what I mean? And for considering me for something like this. I'm humble, I'm moved, I'm touched and inspired, and I've always been by you, you know, but that's, you know, I could go on. I remember when I first met you, you've been inspiring since day one, you know. I think I met you years ago at like Temple, you know, I think it was like a Cosby talk or something like that. I'm not even sure. But anyway, to make a long story bearable, you've always been inspiring. You've always been, you know, uplifting. And, you know, our connections, when I see you, I see elevation, I see love, I see growth and beauty. And I thank you so much.
Oh, no, Jack Drummond, thank you so much. I was not expecting that at all. I'm so grateful. Thank you. That was really, really kind. And man, you stole my thunder, because that was my turn to shower you. But I really appreciate what you just said. And I'm so grateful to be in community, right? I often realize, I learned years ago that whenever I look at something and say something like, they should do something or somebody should do that, I realize, dang it, I'm somebody, I'm the they, right? And I shout out to Carvin Higgins for his Queen Crush Wednesdays, because this is where all of this came from. I realized how inspired I was every Wednesday morning. Couldn't wait to see what he had to say. Right. And something came across my feed and Instagram one day, and I thought, oh, this is great. Somebody should do this for the brothers. And I realized, oh, that's me. You know, I'm somebody. And once I said it out loud, I said it to a friend, and I knew the moment I said it out loud that I was going to be committed to it. And I didn't know how it was going to take form initially. I think I told you, you know, the early versions of King Crush Thursday from early 2019 was literally me running up to Black men anywhere I was in the world, like, hi, you know, and it was hundreds of Black men across the world, which was amazing. And almost to a person, with the exception of 5 people, they all were like, really? And I was like, yeah, I do. I just want to take your photo. If you have social media, I'll tag you. I said, I just want to uplift and highlight you. And usually it was like this. Oh, okay. You know?
Exactly.
So then I learned to say, okay, I'm taking video too. So like move, do something, you know. But, you know, it's been really amazing to be a part of a conversation, recognizing I'm tired of being tired about how we are portrayed, right? And I'm tired because our children are the people in our community, the people who may want to have relationships with us, but don't know how to. If you're only seeing a microcosm, you're missing this richness that we have, that we know. So for me, it starts with my father having an amazing dad my entire life. To this day, if I'm super sad and I need to, I can go and sit on my daddy's lap and cry while my daddy pats my back. Sure. Everything's going to be okay. I'm so grateful that I have that. And that is a part of our community, as many of the other narratives are also a part of our community. And so I'm so grateful to you for contributing to this narrative. And, you know, I do remember meeting you. I think it was at Temple. I think it was at one of those talks. And I remember, I'm always in tune when I meet another musician and like, we start talking about music, and it's just very exciting. It's like honing pigeons.
You get to
like,
talk about music. You talk about music. How am I talk about me without talking about music?
Right.
That's for another time.
Another time. Okay, though. But you carry it with you, right? And that I remember. So, and then just following you over the years. And so I just, I honor you, my king. And I just pray that God will continue to grow and deepen you to, that your epic dream comes true, because your epic dream coming true will not only benefit you, it'll benefit the rest of us. And that's what it's all about, that this is not just about any one individual in isolation, but all of us. And as Dr. King said, you know, we are inextricably linked to each other. So if one is suffering, we're all suffering. When one makes it, we all make it. But then that one has to like kind of either open the door, like, come on, or reach back, right? That it is a collective effort. And so I thank you for being a part of this. And this was really wonderful. So thank you. And thank you for joining us today. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did and learned as much as I did. And please stay tuned for next week for another edition, another king that we'll be featuring. If there is a king in your life, a Black man in your life that you want to see highlighted in this forum, please feel free to click the link below or in my bio, and we will take it from there. Fill out the form and we'll take it from there. We are on our way to 100 Black men, positive, successful Black men. I always say this, but I feel the need to distinguish that success for me is not what one does for a living. Jack has a great job and has a great living, but that's not the point. It's really about the content of one's character and the impact that one has on one's life and one's community. And so be that the nuclear family or the larger community writ large and everything in between. That's what we're looking for. So it's the special guy and it's the everyday guy that's keeping our community up. And so we want to find them, we want to highlight them, we want to introduce them to you. So in the meantime, please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thanks so much. And thank you so much, Jack. That was really great. Thank you.